Okay. Saxophones, we have Will McDonald and Hunter Campbell. Charlotte Sattler.
The next song is called Color Joe. This next song we're going to perform is by a Brazilian composer, Antonio Jobim. And this song is called Águas de Marco, or Waters of March. Waters of March. Quick symbol exchange. Theater, Brazilian bossa. So we'll have myself, James, and my partner Richie have been sort of co-directing the band all fall. And so, what's that? Oh, I'm up next. Yeah, okay. This next song is a little bit groovy, and it's called Sidewinder.
So on that song we featured two different soloists. That was Charlotte Sandlier on trumpet.
Okay, so this is a 3-hour class once a week, and we talk about a whole bunch of different things besides just learning music. We talk about music theory, how to read chord progressions. We also are teaching about jazz improvisation, how to approach an improvisation solo. And we also talk about the modes. Any musicians out there know what I'm saying when I say modes? Yeah. Oh, well, you should come to our class and learn about the modes. Well, the modes has a lot to do with like the major scale and the sounds that you get on each step of the major scale. And each step of that major scale, there's a specific name for that step, which is a mode that they've been required to learn. So I'm going to test them right now in front of you to see if they've been paying attention. Okay. That's the answer. Right there. Okay, so what mode is on the second step of the scale? Didn't listen. Okay. What mode is on the sixth step of the scale? I think us teachers are going to have another job next quarter. All right. What mode is on the fifth step of the scale? It's the Lydian. Yes. Okay. What about the third step? Phrygian. What? Phrygian. Yeah. Okay. How about the seventh step? Lopez? Wrong. No, I'm just kidding. That's right. Okay, what about the fourth step? That doesn't sound confident. Lydian. Okay. So they're learning a whole bunch of stuff about music theory, jazz. We're watching jazz videos, and we're talking about stage performance and all that kind of stuff. So we're having a really good time. And considering the first day, they've really come a long way to get this music prepared for you today. So give them another hand for all of them. And so some of them, which was part of the assignment, they also had to do promotion. Because as a professional musician, or if you have a band, it's not just practicing or learning the songs, but it's also getting out there, making Facebook events, making posters, and telling your friends so that you can have a crowd to play for. So obviously it's been doing some work, good work. The next song we're going to play is called The Meaning of the Blues. And this song is kind of resembles the blues of the 1950s, early 1960s, where you had Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. And there's some quotes in there from some tunes from back in that day. And so not only are they going to play this song, but this song was arranged specifically for this band by a local composer. His name is Mark Thome. And he's kind of our staff writer to make sure that everybody has a part. And so this is called The Meaning of the Blues. Okay, soloist was our bassist, Townsend, right there in the back. And on guitar we have David Moore. On piano we have Jackie Vanderman. Saxophone we have Hunter Campbell. And our illustrious trumpet player there in the back, Fred Raisman on trumpet.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to play one more song in this set, and then we're going to change to a smaller ensemble that will play a few holiday songs for us. And then after that, we're going to come back and play our set again. So stick around, keep listening. We really do appreciate everyone being here so much. And come chat with us if you want to get involved with what we do over at the college over there. We want new players who want to come learn with us and be playing jazz music with a big band like this. We want you, so chat with us and we'll tell you how to get involved. So this last song is going to be one many of you will recognize. It's called I Got Rhythm. Holiday numbers from you. Stick around.
that you're probably all sugared out already. Yeah, that's kind of...
Hey, thank you everybody for coming down and to listen to what we do. We are the South Puget Sound Community College Jazz Band. We're a brand new jazz band this fall at the college. We've been having a great time learning about jazz music, practicing jazz music, and now for the first time ever we are performing jazz music. So we're thrilled that you came down to listen. These folks have been really working hard this quarter. And if you don't have a program, there's stuff right over here. I'll try to come bring them around to you so you can get one and let you know what we're playing. We have 5 songs to perform for you this evening.
The soloist that we had was Billy McDonald on tenor sax and Hunter Campbell on tenor sax. And on trumpet we had Charlotte Sadler right back there. So part of the music education that we're providing there at South Union Sound, amongst many things that we have in the music department, besides choir and piano and all sorts of fun things, music theater. In our jazz band class, we're trying to cover as many different styles as we can, mainly straight ahead swing, some bebop jazz, from the 1950s and stuff, but we also like to cover Latin jazz as well. And we're going to dip into some Carlos Jobim and play one of, he had many popular standards in Latin jazz. This one is called Waters of March.
Check out Joe Beam if you don't know him. I love this stuff. So our next one's a little funky. It is called Sidewinder. Sidewinder. That was Sidewinder. That one featured on trumpet again, Charlotte Sandlier, and Hunter Campbell on tenor sax. So I'm going to have all quarter long, this fella and I have been working together with this new jazz band, and I'm thrilled to be working with this guy. This is Richard Lopez. Fabulous person to work with. So it's been a lot of fun. This next one is a special song because it was arranged by a local arranger named Mark Thom. And what he did is put together a couple of the classic blues tunes, the CJO Blues and Now's the Time. And so those are put together for this blues medley for you, which he entitled The Meaning of the Blues.
Okay, before we start this next tune, some of the things that we're studying in the jazz class is that we have a 3-hour class once a week. Most of the time is rehearsing the music, learning it, and but we also learn other things like how to blend together, how to articulate the phrases together, and as well as expanding their knowledge of music theory, how to rate chord progressions, and also we talk about jazz history a little bit. Sometimes stage performance, sometimes it gets a little bit nervous as they take a solo, but they seem to be working through that really well. One of the other things that we're learning, besides reading chord progressions and learning jazz improvisation, is learning the modes of music. Anybody out there know what I'm talking about when I say modes? Anybody? So you're all eligible to take this class next quarters, so you can learn about what you're learning. And but the modes are pretty much based on the major scale. For instance, the major scale has 7 notes, and then it reaches the octave. And each step of that scale, we in the music education have identified each step as a mode, and there's a name for that mode as you work up the scale. Like the second step has a mode, and it's usually the name of those modes are like ancient gods way back when that we pulled through history of time. So I'm going to quiz them and see if they know, if they've been listening in class. So on the 3rd step of the scale, which mode is on the 3rd step of the scale?
Phrygian!
What?
Phrygian!
Phrygian, yes, they got it. They've been listening. Okay, how about the 7th mode?
Locrian!
Locrian, yeah. Is everybody answering? Okay. All right, how about the 5th step of the scale?
Mixolydian!
Mixolydian. See, they're learning music theory. This is really advanced stuff. All right, how about the 2nd step of the scale?
Organ!
Oh, nice. The 4th step. They're working extra credit right now. How about the 1st step of the scale? Okay. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to pass it this time. All right, we're going to get started with this blues medley. It's really fun to do. Okay, our soloist was, we had Townsend on bass, David Moore on guitar, Jackie Vanderman on tuba, we got a tuba, Hunter Campbell on sax, and Fred Grisman.
Thank you all so much for coming out and listening to us. We are the South Puget Sound Community College Jazz Band, and we would love for you to get involved in what we do if you're inclined. So come chat with us afterwards if you'd like to know more about what we do and how you can be a part of it. We're having a lot of fun, and we look forward to more fun concerts down the road. And I realized in my program I have a mistake. On this song it says soloist Billy McDonald, but the soloist was really Nate Collins. So I apologize. And Nate is the one we will be featuring on this song right here. This is one from the dynamic songwriting duo George and Ira Gershwin. I got rid
Oh.